This is News Desk. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amana. Our President John Dramani Mahama has nominated former Chief Executive of the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization, Spio Garbrah, as Minister for Trade and Industry. Spio Garbrah will be taken over from Haruna Idrisi, who's been moved to the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. A statement issued by the Office of the President said the President has also appointed Dr. Benjamin Kumbu as his new Minister for Defence, replacing Mark Oyongo, who's been reassigned to the Ministry of the Interior. Until his reassignment, Dr. Kumbu was the Minister of State responsible for government business in Parliament. Alhaji Inusuf Hussaini moves from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and is the new Minister for Roads and Highways. Under the new realigned government structure, the Ministry of Communications will now be responsible for the information and media relations functions of governments as it was prior to the year 2001. All agencies under the former Ministry of Information and Media Relations will now operate under the Ministry of Communication. And so we are looking at 28 Minister of State appointments and about 10 regional ministers and a number of deputies for the ministers. Well, let's talk about this. A lot of talk has been, there's been a lot of talk about the quality of the President's ministers. We've seen some real changes here now. Let's pick thoughts from political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Pokwedu, about this cabinet reshuffle. Hello, Doc. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Doc, what do you think about this?
Well, reshuffles are normal. I mean, as we speak, in the UK, Cameroon is embarking on something similar and so on. But the question is, the president has about 2 years more, to go. And so at this time, what can anybody do? Because if people are appointed now, they go through the vetting, they settle in about 3-4 months, and then the last 6 months of 2016 are elections, so no one expects much to be done. So what can they do? But they are not expected just to work, but to work to achieve results. In the face of a Ghanaian population that is becoming more demanding and expecting, and also becoming skeptical and cynical. And so it seems to me that the move is not strategic, it's tactical.
So you think the timing was bad?
Sure, it's come a bit too late, because you're halfway through your term, and in the last 2 years, of your term, what can really be done? So I think the president simply wants to really position himself, appease groups within the party that were seen to be sidelined and get ready for election 2016. That's why I say that is more, to me, tactical than strategic.
I see, but like they say, it's better late than never. There's been a lot of talk about the quality of the president's appointees. When you look at this cabinet reshuffle, what would be your assessment about the quality of persons he's brought in, those he's taken out, those he's reassigned?
Well, I mean, if I take, for example, Mr. or Dr. Spio Garbrah, I mean, he's very knowledgeable, he's very experienced, there's no question at all about that. And my surprise was why Sharia Ita was moved, because I thought everybody accepted that she was doing very well at the health ministry. And so these faces, these new faces appear to give some, credibility, to the cabinet. My problem, however, is that they have a very short time within which to work to achieve results at a time when things are extremely hard for the Ghanaians.
When we look at Spio Garbrah's role that he's been nominated for as Minister for Trade and Industry, we've got a number of issues there. We're looking at a country where we'll be able to export more to be able to achieve real growth in our economy. What does Spio Garbrah bring aboard? Even though he's, like you said, he may have such a short time span to be able to do some of the things he may be able to do. But what does he bring aboard? Who's this man?
Well, I think he brings on board a huge experience, which he has accumulated in the past. And, the trade ministry is very important because we are supposed to be trading. We are not industrializing. We are an agrarian society. We import and export and so on. And so probably what he needs to do, or what he's bringing on board, will be an attempt to, put in place a new strategic plan that will enable this country to not just export, but also to add some value to the kinds of things we've been exporting over the years, which have not been very helpful to us as a people. As whether he'll be able to do that or not within 2 years is another matter. But I expect him to be able to come up with some new strategic moves. And the most important being the plan or the need to add some value to the raw materials we send outside. Over the years, we've been talking about this. Nobody has been able to to do that, and I hope that he will be able to do it. And then also, I hope that as the Minister for Trade, he will be able to work hard to ensure that Ghanaian rice farmers in the north are protected, because for now there's so much rice from Thailand and the U.S. on the market that are cheaper than the ones produced in the north, and that is killing the rice industry in the north. So a certain degree of protectionism in the face of WTO's insistence on free trade is necessary. As to whether he'll be able to maneuver to do that is another difficulty. But given his experience and his connections, he should be able to put some of these things into practice.
Now, since 2001, there's a lot to talk about, but we don't have the time for it. So I'll just move on quickly. Since 2001, we've had the Ministry of Information, we've had Information and Media Relations as a ministry, and now we're going to reverse to pre-2001 days when it wasn't a ministry. We'll have the Communications Ministry absorb it. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that, for me, that's a move in the right direction. In the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen, that different voices are heard. A cacophony of voices coming from the government, sometimes contradictory and so on. So the need to streamline it is quite important.
But was it necessary?
Necessary to
what good does it bring? Was it necessary? Communication took care of technology. Information and media relations took care of the kind of explanation we needed from governors. What wasn't necessary that at this point in the administration of John Dramani Mahama, he decides to put the two together as one?
Well, I think probably what he seeks to do is to streamline the information flow, have it under one regime or one ministry and get it done. And also probably to also cut down costs, because as I expect the cost of running government in this country is extremely high. And it's been one of the contentions. I mean, the World Bank and others are speaking about it, the need for them to reduce the size of government and so on and so forth. So there are two things. One, to streamline the flow of information, and two, to cut down costs.
Doc, thank you very much for your time. Dr. Opoku-Edu is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. I've been talking about the new ministerial appointments and nominations by President John Dramani Mahama. Hopefully it would improve the quality of governance henceforth.